Hi everyone, it's Kelly Ashley here from twinflameawakening.com, and we're having a bit of an interesting video today. So we're talking about your twin flame experience, and is it full of really painful, difficult signs and symptoms? I can bet that it probably is, because I've been through them myself and I know how challenging it is. So let's have a talk about it. Let's really get into it and start explaining why that happens, what type of symptoms you can get, and what you can do to fix that. Because one thing I really want you to take away today is it doesn't have to be that way. It really doesn't. Okay, so let's get into it. So first of all, let's talk about some of the signs and symptoms that you might be experiencing. Now, while I don't think it's good for us to kind of squeeze ourselves into a box, it doesn't have to tick all these different things. What I have done with these signs and symptoms is made them as sort of umbrella as they can possibly be, meaning that probably any sign or symptom that you're having will fit into one of the following somewhere, even if it's not exactly the same, because everybody's energy is a little bit different. Everyone's twin flame connection is different, okay, but this still honours that. So let's talk about some of the symptoms, and please let me know if you resonate with any of these. So some of the really intense signs and symptoms of twin flame awakening, I would call it, so that activation that you get when you move into twin flame energy, and it's pretty much like that the whole time until you learn to rein it back in. So the first one would be an all-encompassing spiritual connection with your twin, but there's a twist to it. It both elevates you and it crushes you. There's a high spiritual aspect to it, and there's this real painful heartache aspect to it, okay? And we're going to explain a bit more about why that happens. The next sign that comes up is what I call soul shock. So meaning that when you go through the twin flame experience and your energy is activated by the twin flame experience, you're going to have a purging process. There's going to be a process where all the blocks between you and your twin get activated, they come to the surface, and you both cannot hide from it. It's absolutely there and it needs to be dealt with. So you're going to deal with past life trauma. Some of that will be past life trauma of your own, tragedies that you've been through, betrayals that you've experienced, heartaches that you've been through, but also there will be a lot of past life trauma between you and your twin. So recognising that all of that has to come up at once. That's a really tough thing to go through, and that's why awakening tends to get so difficult. But we're going to go into that in just a minute. Another sign that you'll get would be a sort of unsoothable heartache. It's usually an ache that you feel within. It can be an emotional feeling, but for a lot of people, myself included at the time, it was a real ache in the heart chakra. It felt almost physical. It was so debilitating. You'll also get a sign or symptom that is intense emotions and emotional overwhelm. You might even have some emotional meltdowns that you were not expecting. And you can also have accompanied with that a profound sense of loneliness or incompleteness. This real drive that you need to be with your twin. You just know you need to be with them. Emotional purging will happen. So all these blocks that arise between you and your twin mean that it's also going to bring up some other emotions. So things like rejection and abandonment issues are really common, especially if it leads you to chase. And by chasing, I don't necessarily mean that you're actively trying to reach out to your twin, because that's not always the case. Sometimes you can be chasing and you're not really doing anything. It's just in your mindset and your energy, this sort of chasing energy comes out. You'll be preoccupied with obsessive racing thoughts, cycling thoughts about your twin, and you might be obsessed with with the fear that it's never going to happen. That real terror. What if this never happens? What if we never get together? What if it never works out? That's really going to be a big driver in your mindset and in your energy. You'll go through doubt and disillusionment. So really starting to question the twin flame journey, your spiritual awakening experience, if any of this is real. You'll start to really question things. You'll start to pick it apart, and you'll have unexpected blocks and obstacles to your union. So by that I mean there will be life things that get in the way. It's like, why is this never working out? Why is it when we just seem to get to that place where it could all come together, it could all work out, something gets in the way? Or some of the challenges that are in the way. Sometimes it's age, sometimes it's distance, sometimes it's someone's circumstances. There's always things that seem to come up that are obstacles that get in the way. The other sign that you'll get coming up is a lowered mental and emotional tolerance in life. So this is where you start to feel like the twin flame energy and the twin flame experience is so all encompassing that you don't know how to cope anymore. You don't know how to live a normal daily life. You might even be headed for or have already had a breakdown. And if that has happened to you, I want to let you know you're not crazy. There's nothing wrong with you. But what's happened is this process has become too much for you, and I'm about to get into that in just a minute. And one of the last intense signs and symptoms of twin flame awakening that I would consider would be your energies are completely frazzled. They are totally and utterly destabilized. You cannot keep your energies grounded, anchored, centered, calm. It's like they are on fire all the time. And some people are more aware of this than not, but that is the process that's ultimately happening. So if you resonate with any of these, please do let me know. So let's talk about the opposite, what you want to be experiencing. So I want to let you know that a twin flame awakening absolutely can be something that allows you to continue to connect with your twin flame without the drama. It doesn't need to have all these terrible signs and symptoms. It doesn't need to be, completely debilitating. It doesn't need to make you feel like you are treading water and barely able to gasp for breath. It doesn't need to be like that, okay? It probably will be to start off with till you learn how to put the right things in place, but that doesn't need to be the process. And I say that also knowing that it doesn't matter how long it's been like that, how intense it's been, okay? It doesn't matter. This still applies, okay? So let's talk about what you would like to have instead, that twin flame awakening without the drama. So feeling connected with your twin but not crushed. Knowing within your soul that you are connected without feeling messed up or traumatized or disturbed emotionally in any way. It's not throwing you off track. Feeling calm, centered and balanced in your emotions. Processing emotional issues and any of those energy blocks that are in the way between you and in your life with ease and grace. And by that in brackets, I mean without a meltdown, because that's what usually happens, without it manifesting in the 3D, because that's what usually happens if you don't get ahead of it first, if you don't clear it first, okay? You'll be able to lovingly think of your twin without losing yourself to the thoughts or the energy or the frequency of your twin flame connection. You'll be able to trust in the connection and its ultimate union, even if it's not here yet, whether it's, it's almost there, you've almost got it together, or whether you have no idea when that's coming. You'll have this trust in that connection and that this result will eventually come about. You'll be clearing blocks, clearing the way for healthy, lasting union without relapse. So this is the thing that most people don't realise, because I've worked with twin flame, people going through the twin flame experience for a long, long time. And what you tend to find is that people finally claw their way. They get to union, they've come through all the difficult ups and downs, and they get to union and then it all falls apart and they break up, and then they get back together and then they break up, and then there's distance, and then there's running, and there's chase. You don't want to do that. You want to get into a lasting, healthy twin flame connection without the disruption of constantly having to unplug from each other. And there's a way around that I'm going to share with you today and over the next few videos. And the other thing that you want is stable and secure energies that know how to support you through the twin flame process, because you need to remember that your experience, your soul has gone through a shock that is so incredibly intense that your energies just don't know how to process it. They don't know what to do with these high frequencies. They don't know how to cope. Okay, and that's what I'm going to break down next. So if any of this is clicking, if you're having aha moments, please let me know. I love to hear from other twin flames on this journey and experience. So let's talk about why you're currently experiencing that, because there's a reason why. Okay, you are currently experiencing intense twin flame signs and symptoms, no matter how long you've been on the twin flame journey, no matter how bad it's been, no matter if you're together or not together, it makes no difference. Okay, it still comes under twin flame umbrella. You're going through those intense, painful signs and symptoms, and they're intense and out of control. You're going through them because what's happened is you've had a twin flame activation. It's the twin flame purge. Okay, so when twin flames meet, and I mean spiritually or physically, right? Because you can meet your twin flame, you can make that energetic connection that is a catalyst for your energy system and for the awakening process to begin, you can catalyze that even if you don't meet face to face. So for some people, they meet face to face, catalyzed effect happens. For other people, they meet their twin in a dream, or they learn about the twin flame process and they just know, and the activation happens. They start to remember their twin on some level. For other people, it's they've meditated and they've sensed this energy and they start to recognize, or they're getting signs in their life. It doesn't matter how it comes about. It's about your interaction with that twin flame concept and that twin flame's energy. It's a catalyst to your energy system. And when that happens, this is the problem. It blasts open all of your chakras. So you think of the main chakra line down the centre of your body, along the spine. Those chakras and that energy pathway opens, okay, when you get this activation. There's such high frequency awakening energy, it just blasts you energetically open. Then all the stuff, all the blocks between you and your twin, all the pains, all the emotional issues, all the negative energies, all come up at once. Yeah, because there's nothing to stop it from just all blasting up. Okay, it's like every bit of energetic debris that could possibly be between you is brought to the surface so that it can be cleared out of the way, so that your connection can be completely pure, and that you can connect with each other and there are no blocks in the way. So there's purpose to it. It's got a good point. That's the purpose of it. The problem is that when that happens, all the emotional baggage from all of your lifetimes, this is why twin flame experience is so hard, from all of your lifetimes comes up all at once to strengthen that connection, to clear the connection. Love issues from this lifetime, from past lifetimes, from other soul connections that you've had, all the heartache comes up at once. Okay, so it's no wonder that we spiral out of control, whether you're a runner or a chaser. No matter what active process you take, whether it's you're being assertive or you're being passive, whether you're being, that sort of extroverted energy or you're being more of an introverted energy, whatever direction it takes, even if it's a mix of both, it really doesn't matter, because it's all about that energy and that activation just being too much for your soul to actually deal with. You're taking the body into a high frequency that it cannot handle. And that's when things start to break down. That's when the twin flame experience becomes something that is painful, difficult, overwhelming. Your energies are completely destabilized. Your life starts falling apart. You can't stop thinking about your twin. And when you do, it's as if you lose your mind. You completely lose yourself. All of these things happen because when you go through that process, it completely ungrounds your energies. It raises your vibration really, really high. And the next thing that people do is they think, in order to connect with my twin, I need to raise my vibration. So what do? They start using what we've all been taught to use: crystals, incense, yoga, meditation, energy healing. People start using all these different things, essential oils. That'll raise my vibration. I'll be able to connect with my twin. But what people don't always acknowledge is that advice is the opposite, the absolute opposite of what we should be doing. When we're going through the twin flame process, our energies are already so high frequency from purely connecting with your twin that you absolutely need no help in raising your vibration any higher. In fact, the signs and symptoms that you're getting that are making the twin flame process really difficult are a direct result of being so high frequency. So what you need to do is not raise your vibration higher, you need to let it come down, you need to let it anchor. When you can let it anchor in the 3D, you will reduce all of your symptoms, you will strengthen your twin flame connection, you will ease the intensity of how quickly and how intensely those emotional issues come up for healing. You will be able to take a breath and you will have more chance of having that stable connection with your twin flame that lasts. Like I said, not getting into that space where you finally get to your twin and then it all falls apart, and then you finally catch back up and maybe it's going to be okay this time, and then it all falls apart, because the energy will keep doing that, bringing you together and apart until you're clear enough to connect. So that's why one of the most important things you can do is not only ground your energies and teach them how to process the high frequency energies of the twin flame process. That will change your twin flame experience immediately. But the second thing that you need to do is you need to enable your energies to know how to process the twin flame frequency, and you need to help it to clear enough of that stuff, enough of those blocks that are coming up, so that you are safeguarding your future with your twin. You're doing the work now so that you don't have to get together and keep being pulled apart again, because that's what the energies will do every single time. Okay, so my guidance is a few different things. My guidance initially would be to take a break from all the spiritual stimulants that you're using, the incense, the essential oils, the crystals, the sage, you know, the energy healing, the yoga, whatever it is. Take a break, give yourself a week or two, let your energies anchor down, and then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to clear the blocks that are between you and your twin, clear the stuff that's in your energy that might be getting in the way. And when you clear the union, you'll do it for both of you, so that you're clearing the way, and also you're teaching your energies how to cope with this process, how to really manage that. You can deepen the connection at the same time. And we teach all this and more in my signature course, the Twin Flame Foundational Energy Clearing course. It is a course of energy healing downloads and activations that will reduce your most difficult and painful twin flame symptoms. It will clear your energies, it will deepen your connection with your twin flame in just 7 days, and that's no matter how long this has been going on, no matter what stage you're at, no matter how painful or difficult or where it's taking you to in your life, it makes no difference. Okay, we're putting energy in place exactly where it's needed to really level this out. And the doors open to this course in about 14 days from this video, but you can get on that waitlist if you like, and you'll be notified immediately when we go live. And I really hope to be supporting you in your twin flame journey very, very soon. Check the link below and have a fantastic day. Bye.